Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Degree. We are often told our degree defines our career, but what happens when your interests take you somewhere completely different? Today, we are joined by Shivangi Ma'am, who began her journey with Grant Thornton and Deloitte, and then made a bold shift into the creative space with brands like Zomato and Mama Earth, now Honasa. In this episode, we explore the great pivot, how to discover what you truly want, and turn your existing skills into your biggest advantage. Hello, ma'am, and thank you so much for joining us today. And yeah, we can start. Please introduce yourself.
Hi Anjali, thank you so much for having me. This is Shivangi, and I did my Bachelor's of Commerce from University of Delhi. During my 3 years of college, I had the opportunity to work with Grant Thornton, Deloitte, and Mammoth. But I eventually realized I want to pursue a full-time career in marketing, and that was the time I came across an internship opportunity at Zomato, which converted into a full-time PPO. I spent an year at Zomato, and I'm currently working as a senior executive for brand and content for Bella Vita. I'm so happy to be here and share how this all has been.
Great, amazing. So we can start with the first question. So you started with risk advisory at Grant Thornton and financial advisory at Deloitte. So what was that aha moment that made you realize your heart was in brand and content instead of finance?
That's an interesting one. It wasn't a big aha moment, but a pattern I could not ignore. In finance, I was doing the work, but I enjoyed shaping the story behind the numbers more than the numbers themselves. I had spent extra time simplifying insights and making them engaging. At the same time, I started creating content on the other side and felt far more natural and creative. That contrast made things clear for me. Finance helped me to understand business, but creative and brand marketing made me feel like I was actually building something people connect with.
So you were already interested in marketing and creative side of the work. So
Yes,
moving on,
I was.
right. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Most people think finance and marketing are polar opposites. So what analytical habit that you pick up at Deloitte and that gives you an edge when planning a brand campaign?
So they'll tell you at Deloitte you are trained to never accept surface level answers. You always ask why. And that is something I carry into marketing as well. If a campaign works, I break down what exactly drove it and whether it's repeatable. It helps me go beyond just the gut feeling of me working on a campaign. I usually think it in terms of hypotheses, matrices, and learning. That structure brings me more clarity to the creative work that I'm doing. So it's a mix of intuition and analysis that gives me an edge to work on the brand marketing campaigns. And you carry that why this worked and why this did not work, and something I got it from Deloitte.
Understood. So how did the structured and corporate environment at the Big Four prepare you for the fast-paced and even often chaotic world of startups like Honasa and Zomato?
So, Big Four discipline under pressure, tight deadlines, and high expectations becomes very normal when you work there. You learn how to stay structured even when things get very, very intense. But startups, on the other hand, are very fast and chaotic, as you had mentioned. But because of that foundation, I can handle the ambiguity better. I bring structure where things are unclear, and that's where you start adding real value. And over the time, you realize chaos is not the problem if your thinking is clear.
Right. So you also had leadership roles in Rotract. So for 3 years even. So how did you manage like a student organization and then that experience helped you in preparing for a stakeholder management in the corporate world?
See, the travel has been a great journey for me for the 3 to 4 years time I was there, and it taught me a lot about working with people early on. You are managing volunteers, not employees, so no one is obligated to listen to you. That forces you to kind of influence with authority. You learn how to align different people and still get things done. It's very similar to stakeholder management in a corporate. The dynamics change, but the core skill is still the same, and that is to get the work done and to bring a structure to the things that you are doing. The only difference is that the stakes are much higher now.
Right. Okay, so let's say a student have no big internships yet, but what kind of proof of work can they create today to get a hiring manager's attention?
So if you don't have big internships or you need to create some proof of work, today I think it's easier than ever to show what you can do. You can build a page, redesign some campaign. There are many creators who are doing such campaigns, or even to break down the existing ad for a few companies. The idea is to show how you think and execute. Hiring managers look for initiatives and trust me, not just the experience. Your work should make them feel you are already ready. It's just the opportunity that has to knock at your door. Because visibility of your work matters as much as the work itself. So it's really, really important you show the intent, you show your willingness to learn, you show your willingness to do the things and the ownership. And trust me, all of this will really, really get you at good places. This is what has worked for me in the past.
All right, so I think we can go ahead with the last question for today's episode. So, your journey from zero to where you are now, what is that one piece of advice that you'd like to give to college students who feel that they aren't extraordinary enough to land their dream jobs?
I think you don't need to be very extraordinary to get started. Even I wasn't. Like, I was from a tier 2 DU college. You just need to be consistent. Most people don't have things figured out as much as it seems. They are just trying, learning, and improving over the time and figuring it out what they really want to do, just like how I did after Deloitte. So instead of chasing big moments, focus on small progresses. Getting slightly better at every few months actually will compound to a lot of things that you are. Also, don't wait to feel ready. Clarity comes from action and not overthinking. So just don't sit at one place and thinking what is next. Even go explore and do, and trust me, you will be there one day too.
So, it's better to just go ahead and do it instead of thinking that when I will be ready, I will do it, I'll take action. So,
Absolutely,
that.
100%.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think then we can conclude with this question. And what really stands out from this conversation is how powerful it is to look at your own experiences differently. It is not just about where you have worked, it's also about how you understand and present what you've learned. So, whether you are a student or someone already working and thinking about switching paths, this episode is a reminder that you are not starting from scratch, but rather building on something you have already done. But once you have built that base, the real question is how do you actually get noticed? How do you stand out to a brand without having even a referral? So that's exactly we are diving into in part two, where things get a lot more practical and actionable. Thank you.